Hello, welcome back to Mars Movement Studio. We've got another Mars on the Mat hour-long class, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. Just like we do normally with our breath, coming to seated, and kind of taking a moment to settle into your seat, maybe rocking a little bit back and forth, maybe kind of pulling your flesh to the side a little bit so you can really root down in your sits bones. And then taking this moment to maybe roll out your shoulders and find a little movement of your spine, maybe a little shake of your head or a nod. And then once you've taken a few of these moves, let's just settle right in here. Come to a moment of stillness. And then bring your hands to your ribs, maybe bringing them to wrap around like you're giving yourself a hug and feeling those hands rest on the side of your ribs. And let's take a big breath in here. And then exhale, clear it out. On your next breath in, I want you to fill yourself up all the way and send that air down into your belly. And feel that weight sort of bearing down on your pelvic floor a little bit. And then as you exhale, I want you to see if you can start to float that pelvic floor and then draw that low belly back, feeling those ribs start to knit together as you actively push that air out of your body. And now this time as you inhale, I want you to see if you can keep that low belly engaged, sending the air wide into your lungs. And then exhaling, again, finding even more lift through your pelvic floor, drawing that belly button back, and then feeling those ribs knit together. Keep going like this, inhaling. And exhaling to find your co-contraction. That's that lift from the bottom, that wrapping in, almost like you're drawing your deepest layer of abs to saran wrap around your spine. And every time you inhale, seeing if you can keep this kind of in that upper chamber, feeling that air come wide into your lungs, maybe even to your upper back. And exhaling to deepen that co-contraction. All right, now we'll come onto our hands and knees, and we're gonna start in our cat-cow today. So inhaling to look forward and flare your sits bones to the sky, dropping your belly down with that big inhale. And then as you exhale, looking down towards your belly button, tucking your tailbone. And then again, you look forward, finding that nice extension through your spine. And then exhale, lifting up through that belly, rounding through your spine. Go like this 2 more times. Big inhale to look forward. Big exhale to look back. And once more. And exhale. And then meet me somewhere in between those two. So not that drooping of your low spine, not that rounding, but right in between. And then with that nice long spine, I just want you to look over to your left and then look over to your right. Looking back towards your left pinky toe and then looking back towards your right pinky toe. And taking your spine into this lateral flexion from side to side, like you're wagging your tail. And then go ahead and come back to center, keeping that flat back and keeping that spine nice and solid. And then from here, we'll take that scapular protraction and retraction. As you squeeze your shoulder blades together on your back, your chest will drop down a little bit. As you spread your shoulder blades wide, your chest will lift up a little bit. And you'll keep going like this, trying to keep those arms straight, but not quite locked out at your elbows. They're a little bit soft. And you're finding just this little bit of movement through your shoulders. Thinking about those shoulder blades, those scapula gliding towards one another, and then spreading away. Good. And then from here, we'll start with our cat-cow. And so you're going to reach your left arm long overhead and then reach your right leg back behind you. And then come back down to your starting position. And now let's do that in unison. Left arm, right leg. And we're going to stay on this side, really focusing on this left and right. And I just spun it around so that as we develop this, I'll be in a good position to face you. Okay, with this cat-cow, I want you to think about that stable spine. So trying not to find that arching as you reach. You're just holding nice and long. And then seeing if you can find a further reach through that right heel. Seeing how active you can get through that right leg, maybe finding that tone through your quads, finding that activation through your hamstrings and your glutes. Then really just working hard here to keep that deepest layer of abs really engaged, wrapping around your spine. We'll go for 3 and 2. And then on 1, find that big reach out and hold that bird dog. From here, you'll just bring your left forearm down to the mat and then your right forearm down to the mat. And then I want you to find this scapular protraction. So that big spread of your scapula on your back. And then from here, that right leg is still long. You're going to kick that heel up to the sky and then tap those toes down to the floor. Kick it up, tap it down. Again, doing your best to keep your spine nice and steady here. So the movement of your leg comes from the movement or the activation of your glutes, your hamstrings, and not from this lifting of your hip or this arching of your back. We'll go like this for another 4 and 3. Last 2. On 1, hold that right leg long. Try to lift it up just another inch. Hold it really active. And then from here, just squeeze your right heel to your butt and then extend it out long. Keeping that foot nice and flexed the whole time. So trying not to point here, but really reaching that heel so long and active and then finding that squeeze of your heel to your butt. And it'll feel like a little activation through your hamstrings. And then you'll also feel a little stretch through those quads, hopefully, if that right leg is nice and lifted. Let's go for another 3 and 2 and 1. And then reach that right leg back long. Keep that flex. And then from here, we'll draw a little rainbow. So dropping those right toes back to that back left corner of the mat. Circle up in that big arc and then drop them off to the back right corner of the mat. Lifting up and over. And up and over. Really nice and active here through that upper body. Still super stable through your spine. Crystal really loves to get in the way right around this time of class. She's like, what are you doing? I'll get her out of the way. But we're going to go like this for another 3 and 2. Okay, on 1, we're going to make a little transition here. So reach that right leg up to the sky. Reach. And then from here, just rotate your left forearm so that it's parallel with that short edge of the mat. And then come up onto your right fingertips and open it up here. So I'm looking towards you, towards the camera. My right hip lifted up in space. And now I feel a little activation through my left outer hip because I'm finding this external rotation here. Good. And then I've got this big press down into my left forearm, and I'm really light on those right fingertips. From here, we're just going to take a little lift through that right leg and lower. The lift and lower. So you should really feel this through that outer right glute med working. Ooh. Feels good. And I'm still thinking about kicking through that heel. I kind of forgot for a minute, but now I'm back in it, thinking about holding that leg even longer, making it feel even heavier for 3 and 2. On 1, lift that right leg, and then bring it into alignment with your hip. So it's not lifting up in space, it's just straight down from your hip. You can look down and look at it. Okay, and then from here, I want you to point your toes. You sweep that right leg forward. Flex that foot to sweep it back. Ooh, started to take a little more weight into that right hand. Get a little bit lighter on it if you can. Seeing if you can stabilize a lot on that left hip. Ooh, that is a good feeling. Okay, let's go for another 4. Not here for too long. Last 3. Ooh. Last 2. Okay, on 1, go ahead and release that right leg back, drop it down to the floor, and then just come to laying down on your left side. So you're still on that left forearm. You're gonna bring that left shin right out in front of you so that it's parallel with that long edge of the mat. And you've got this nice, right angle at your left knee, and then your right leg is long, and that should feel good. Maybe you want to tap it out a little bit, taking this nice little release. Okay, and then we're going to move into a little bit of tricep work on that left arm. So from here, I want you to draw that elbow in a little bit so that you don't have this obtuse angle at your shoulder, but so that it's really nice and stacked. Left elbow right under your left shoulder. Ooh, if your neck feels like it needs a little release, you can look down to the mat. Okay, from here, you're gonna rotate that left hand out so that it's pointed towards that front right corner of the mat. And then we're gonna bring that right hand to wrap around those left ribs. Okay, from here, press down into the left palm of your hand, and you're gonna press yourself up. And then bend that elbow, draw it back towards your body. Good. Pressing down into that palm, you lift up, and maybe you think about kind of reaching that left hand away from you a little bit. And then as you start to draw that left elbow down to the ground, I want you to think about energetically sliding that left palm back in space. Whew. It might not look like a lot, but it'll start to feel like a lot. And I want you to think about keeping this left side of your body really engaged. That right arm holding you around the ribs, that's gonna help a lot. And like I said, this might not feel like a lot right now, but I did do this class earlier in person, earlier this week, and also earlier today in person. And when I did it earlier in the week, the next day my triceps were lit the hell up. So, good job. You're doing it. Okay, we're gonna go for another 3. And then we've got a fun little hold in 2. Okay, and then on 1, big push up, hold that arm long, kind of reset yourself, and then bend that elbow just halfway. See if you can reach longer through the crown of your head, and then feel that energetic hug of that left palm back towards your body. So you're trying to draw that left elbow kind of in space, and maybe even forward a little bit. Oh yeah, feel that. Okay, keep holding here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and then just go ahead and press yourself up to seated. Now that left shin is still right in front of you, and I need you to move. Go on. That left shin is right in front of you, and then your right shin comes directly out to the side. So you're in your little mermaid stretch. Right fingertips can come down to the mat. Reach your left arm right overhead, and then come over to the right. And then back up to the sky. Reach that arm straight up. Cool. Let's go like that a couple more times. Finding that nice reach. Whoo, up and over. Really getting into this lateral movement of our spine. So we did a little bit of it earlier when we were doing our like spinal warm-ups. And now I really want you to think about this kind of sinking of your right rib to your right hip, and then with that, the expanding through your left side. Ooh. Okay, let's go one more time and then we're gonna hang out there. So up and over, hold it here. Really reach through those left fingertips. Maybe you bring your right hand to your right ribs and you take a big inhale in here. And then you go ahead and lift up out of it. Gorgeous. Okay, give yourself a little shake out. I was really feeling that in my right neck. If you are too, maybe you wanna look to the left and drop your right shoulder down a little bit. Then look to the right, drop your left shoulder down. Cool. Okay, let's do it on the other side. So coming back to all fours, we're gonna start in our bird dog. So palms directly underneath your shoulders, knees directly underneath your hips. And from here, it's that right arm reaching overhead and then that left leg kicking back long. And then you bring them back down. And we'll keep going like that, reaching in opposition, finding right arm and left leg again and again. And on the note of like me taking that energy into my neck, I feel like there's a lot of, I don't know, talk around like, if you're taking this into this part of your body, here's what's wrong. And like, yeah, that can be partially like alignment issues. And maybe your form is kind of off, and maybe my form was kind of off, and that's okay. And I feel like, you know, as I often like to talk about, that's just information, right? And also sometimes it's just fatigue. Like, I feel like we're always in this zone of like, how do I perfect everything so I feel nothing? Like, I feel like people are like, wow, I was so sore after that class. And I'm like, well, wasn't that the point? Like, isn't the point that you want to work out and get stronger and feel sensations? I think so. If you don't want to feel sensations, I think you might be in the wrong place. Or maybe you're in the right place because you're learning to get more comfortable with feeling sensations. Okay, little diatribe is over. Let's go for another 3 and 2. Okay, and then we're going to get into that glute focus. The next time you reach out long, hold it. Keep that left leg long. Just drop your right forearm down and then your left forearm down. Really kick through that left heel so actively. Little lift. Drop those toes down to the mat. Lift them up. Drop them down. Kicking through that left heel so actively that you can make that leg feel longer. Yeah, another little world I think that is really, well, maybe, you know, it could just be my algorithm, but the world of Instagram, I feel like everyone's like, there's just a lot of people who are like, strength training or nothing. Pilates is not enough to work your body out as much as you need to be worked out. And I'm like, that's not true. We are strength training, and you can build progressive overload with body weight. Maybe not if you're like a professional bodybuilder, but I'm assuming that you're not, and I'm sorry for that. I shouldn't assume. Maybe you are a professional bodybuilder, but if you're not, just know that like, yes, I'm so pro strength training. Pause, hold that left leg long, really, really long, and then draw your left heel to your butt. And then extend it out long. Trying to keep that left thigh up as you squeeze your heel to your butt. Sorry, I know I'm really chatty today. I've got a lot on my mind, I guess. But while we're here doing our little hamstring curls, I just want to say, hell yeah, strength training. If you are strength training and if you are hitting the gym and you're lifting heavy or lifting weights, hell yeah, love that, love that, love that. But know that also you can be doing strength training with body weight. So anyways, that's the complete thought. Any way you want to move is good, in my opinion. I'm not out here telling people that nothing is good enough. You are good enough, whatever you're doing. Okay, hold that left leg long. We'll take those rainbows. Left toe taps to the back left corner of the mat. Big squeeze up and over, tap it down. Yep, up and over, tap it down. And truly, anyone who's out here making you feel bad or question some kind of movement that you're doing that helps you feel embodied, don't listen to them. Do the movement that helps you feel embodied. Explore new ones. Try fun stuff. Okay, I'm really going to focus more on cues now. Okay, lift that left leg up. Hold it. Okay, now we're going to set up for our little lifted position. So bring that right forearm parallel with that short edge of the mat. Come up onto your left fingertips and open your left hip up. You'll feel your right glute a lot here. It already did a ton of work on that first side, and now it's having to work so hard to keep you stable. Work with it. Press up and out of that right forearm. Get really light in your left hand, and then lift that left leg up. Drop it down. Lift it up, drop it down. So we're really getting into that outer left hip here. This is Bernie. This is a Bernie series. It's a lot. I'm feeling really energetic. We're like at the beginning of Aries season. It's finally springtime in the Hudson Valley today. It's like 70 degrees. It's been freezing cold. So I'm feeling litty. Okay, left leg is up. High, high, high. Hold it up. And then drop it down just so that it's in line with your left hip. And then you're going to sweep that leg forward, point your toes. Sweep that leg back. Find the flex of your foot. Sweep forward. Flex back. Oh my gosh, I'm really struggling on this side. You can keep going if that's feeling good for you. I am starting to get really tired. Okay, but I'm going to keep going. Just a few more. Let's go for 4. Last 3. And 2. Last 1. Big sweep of that left leg back. Hold it for a beat. And then drop that leg down. Come to laying down on your right side. Draw that right leg out in front of you so that you've got this nice 90-degree angle at your right knee. Your shin is parallel with that long edge of the mat. And then bring your right elbow so that it's just underneath your right shoulder. And then just take that little rotation of your forearm. So it was parallel, and now it's going to be 45 degrees pointed towards that front top left corner of the mat. And then you're going to bring that left hand around your right ribs and really kind of hug yourself here. Press down into that right palm and then press your whole body up. And then as you bend that elbow down, think about kind of dragging your palm back towards your body, hugging that elbow into you. Big push up and that bend. And I just want to shout out Helen Phelan for this move. I was taking one of her online classes the other night and doing this move, which I think it's just so fun. Sometimes it can be a little bit hard to think about programming arm work, especially in like basic mat classes or mat classes with no props. But this is, using this body weight, really, it's awesome. I love it. So shout out Helen Phelan. If you're looking for another online studio that rocks, check her out. She's got a huge library of work and she's an amazing instructor. So check her out. Okay, let's go like this for another, let's do 3. And 2. Last one, push up. Take just a beat here. Again, I'm feeling it in my right neck, but that's okay. I'm gonna push through. We're gonna bend that right elbow halfway. You can already feel your right tricep here. And then I want you to think about dragging your palm of your hand energetically into your body, finding that lighting up through your tricep. Maybe you rotate that right elbow forward just slightly. Hold it really steady here for another 4, 3, 2, 1. My goodness. Okay, press up into your mermaid. So your right shin is already in place. You just bring that left shin in towards your body, and then your left hand comes to the mat. Reach your right arm straight up to the sky and come up and over. And then right back up. Ooh, okay. Let's do that a couple more times. Big up and over, finding this lateral movement through our spine, but also kind of stretching out all through that right side. Right hip gets a little stretch, right ribs, right shoulder even a little bit as you lift it overhead. Not shoulder, kind of lat area, and your triceps. Okay, let's go one more time here and then just really hang out in that position. Taking this moment to reach even more through your fingertips on that right hand and seeing if you can inhale to expand your right lung. And then go ahead and come back up. Okay, nice work. Okay, we're gonna take it into some focused ab work. Coming to laying down on the mat. Or rather, sorry, let's come to seated. We're not gonna come to laying down just yet. We're gonna start with some rollbacks. So seated on the mat, your feet can be planted right at the front of the mat. You can find your sits bones underneath you and then your hands right behind your thighs. And then sit up super tall. Use your arms to kind of draw your chest forward and lift up, maybe pulling your shoulders back and down. Sit up tall, tall, tall with an inhale. And as you exhale, tuck through your tailbone and roll it back just until your arms come straight. Seeing if you can curl under your tailbone a little bit more at the bottom. And then inhale, restack that spine. Let's keep going like this, nice and easy. Roll back. Lift up. Good, let's keep going. Roll back. And lift up. And then you can bring your arms out in front of you, taking this little roll back. And lift up. Maybe testing your range of motion more. You can go a little bit further now that your arms aren't attached. See if you can find that place where you find that like deep core challenge. So you're initiating with this tuck of your tailbone so that you can take this C curve at your mid and low back. And then you're really trying to kind of draw your top abs in as you roll back even more. Okay, let's go for another 3. Last 2, trying to keep those shoulders wide even as you're taking this C curve. And I'll get into this another time, but I feel like the fascination for me of how the spine works is how you can kind of C curve through one part of your spine while you're finding, or you can find flexion through part of your spine while you find extension through the other side. Okay, I've already taken us too long. Let's roll ourselves all the way back here, taking it all the way down onto the mat. But yeah, something for another time. I had a really like kind of expert instructor blow my mind with that actually kind of recently in like a really classical reformer class. So cool. So much to learn. Okay. From here, once you've laid yourself down, I want you to see if you can spread your shoulders a little bit wider on the mat behind you. And then we're going to find our neutral spine. So I want you to tuck your tailbone, find that imprint of your spine, maybe on an exhale. And then on an inhale, find your neutral spine. Big exhale, tuck your tailbone, nice imprint here. And then inhale, find your neutral. Cool. Let's go like this 2 more times. Exhale, tuck your tailbone. Inhale, find neutral. Exhale, tuck your tail. Inhale to neutral. And let's hold that neutral spine now. And then from here, you're going to draw your right leg to tabletop and then your left leg to tabletop. And from here, you're going to bring your right hand to the top of your right thigh and your left hand right on top of that. And I want you to actively press your palms into that right thigh. And notice how when you do that, you feel your right obliques light up. You feel your right psoas light up, that kind of main hip flexor. Okay, we want to hold on to that engagement here as we take a single leg reach with that left leg. Reach out, come back to bend. Reach that leg long, return it back to tabletop. We'll keep going like this. Big reach and return, reach and return. And I'm gonna keep my head back for this. We'll add on a little bit of like crunchy ab curly stuff later, but I'm really liking how just that pressure of pressing hands into thigh gives me a really like lit up feeling. Okay, we're gonna go for another 3 like this. Keeping that point through both of your toes now for 2. And then on 1 big press of that left leg away, hold it long. And I've got mine at about 45 degrees. If you're super strong in the abs and you wanna send that leg a little lower, no problem. If your abs are feeling a little tired, you can send them up to the sky. But I like about 45 degrees. And then from here, we're just gonna take a little side shift out to the left, back in through center. Doing your best to keep your body stable. Your pelvis wants to rock from side to side. Your body wants to sway. Notice what's happening in that right leg. Is it shifting from side to side? Only go as far as you can maintain stability through your body. And if you do start to rock, that's cool. That's just information. You maybe went a little too far, so you're gonna rein it in a little bit more. Just go for 3. And 2. Okay, on 1, bring that left leg back to center. Kick that left heel up to the sky. And I'm actually gonna take a little moment to relax here. Okay, but left leg is up to the sky. Find that flex of that left heel. And then point your toes to sweep that leg down to the ground or just hovering before, and then kick through that heel to lift your leg up. Sweep, pointing your toes, sending your leg forward. Flex, drawing that leg up. Keep going like this. Point and flex. Whew, just for another 3. Last 2. Yee. Okay, on 1, sweep that left leg up, sweep your right leg up, clasp those hands behind your right leg, and point both sets of toes. From here, I want you to lift your chest, walk your hands up that right leg a little higher, and then from here, just send that left leg down and away from you. Take a little tug on that right leg, a little tug, tug, and then slowly switch those legs. Reaching that right leg so long, I want you to take that little tug, tug of that left leg and then switch. Tug, tug, and switch. And notice my pace here, like I'm moving through honey, really slow like, and really smooth. Taking this time to connect to your movement rather than connecting to a sense of momentum. We'll go once more on the right, and then we'll meet on the left. Laying your head back down, those hands are on your left leg. Bring your legs to tabletop, find your neutral spine again. And then again, left hand on that right thigh, right hand on top of your left hand. Find that activation here. Pressing your hands into your thighs, feeling how your left obliques light up, your side abs. Feel how your left psoas lights up, that hip flexor. And then from here, you just send that right leg long, back to tabletop, right leg long, back to tabletop. Keep going, right leg reaches, and you return, finding this lever of that right leg that works for you. Again, I really like a 45 degrees here, but you get to choose. Higher to the sky is a little less intense, lower to the ground, a little more intense. You play around with that range for 4. Last 3. And 2. On 1, extend that right leg long and hold it. Little side shift out and in. Check in with that pelvis. Are you rocking? You're not a bad person if you're rocking, but see if you can make it a little bit smaller, a little more focused, a little bit more stable. Finding that deep transverse abdominis, hugging in around your spine for 3. Yeesh, last 2. Whew, last 1. Go ahead and hug your knees in for a minute. I really want that reset after that. Okay, and then let's bring it into that last little sweepy. So kick that right leg up to the sky, heels flexed, and then sweep that leg down to the floor, point your toes. Big flex of your right leg up to the sky. Point your toes down, sweep it down. Good. Sweep it up, sweep it down. Same thing, no momentum here. Connecting to that musculature. Ooh, just 3. Yikes, we've got 2 more. Very good, last 1. Sweep that right leg up, and then just bring those hands around your knees and hug your knees into your chest. Rock a little bit from side to side. Maybe taking a big inhale in here. Okay, and then hands, oh my goodness, a yawn. Okay, hands come on your knees. Let's draw some circles with our knees. Concentric circles away from one another, and then go ahead and go in the other direction. Ooh, it feels good. All right. Okay, from here, let's go ahead and rock and roll up. We're gonna do a little rolling like a ball to get there. Maybe your arms come kind of wrapped behind your thighs like that. That's gonna be kind of helpful. And if you wanted a little bit more intensity, you would wrap your arms or bring your hands to the front of your shins. Try to roll up into a little smaller ball. Smaller ball is gonna be harder. Wider ball is gonna be a little bit more support, and just kind of feel this massage along your spine, rolling like a ball. Such a classical Pilates move. It's so fun, I love it. Yay! Seeing if you can find a little less momentum, but there is a little bit of momentum here. Okay, playtime is almost over. Go for 3. Just kidding, it's all playtime. Last 2. Yay! Okay, last 1. Oh, come on up, balance for just a moment. And then drop your toes down. Okay, I'm just gonna check our time here and see, make sure we're doing good. Oh yeah, we've got plenty of time. Okay, my watch broke last night, so I'm sad. Okay, we've got about 20 more minutes. And so we're gonna come up onto our knees. And we're going to do a little bit of arm work. So I'll turn to face you for this arm work. You can start with your hips on your heels if you're feeling a little bit tired, but I'm gonna come up onto my knees, and you can too if you feel good like that. And then from here, I want you to just take some circles with your arms. Up and around, up and around. And then another in the other direction, up and around, up and around. Okay. And then when you're ready, bring those arms straight out in front of you. And we're just gonna take some little rotation of those arm bones. So thumbs to the sky, pinkies to the floor, and then flip those palms, pinkies to the sky, thumbs to the floor. Keep going like that, little spin. Now maybe palms reach up to the sky, thumbs point out, and then flip. Little twisty, like you're turning a doorknob. Trying to keep those tips of your shoulders kind of down away from your ears. You got this little rotation. Okay, feeling it out here. Okay. And then the next time you flip so that your palms are facing out from one another, I want you to sweep your arms behind your back, so keeping them in line with your shoulders. And then I want you to tip your torso forward a little bit, rock your hips back a little bit, and then almost try to like reach your palms towards one another without bending your elbows. And then lift it back up, bringing the backs of your hands together out in front of you, and then flip palms to the sky. Let's do that again. Flip palms face away from one another. As you sweep those arms back behind you, you rock your hips back and your torso dips forward. And then you come back forward and you flip your palms to the sky. I'm gonna take a little rotation so you can see what's happening in my hips here. So flip your palms, try to draw them together behind your back, hips drop back, torso dips forward, and then you come back forward. And what I want you to make sure that you're not doing is really bowing here. So a lot of people kind of have this inclination to almost come into this like child's pose kind of action. I'm gonna keep my toes tucked here to keep me nice and honest. So I'm just sending my hips to float back onto my heels and then reaching my head forward as a little counterbalance. Doing my best to not let my chin drop to my chest, trying to keep that gaze semi-forward. Good. Nice rotation here. It's always humbling when you do an arm series that's literally just your arms and you're like, okay, so I can build heat. No weights, no resistance. Kind of impressive if you ask me. Maybe I'm just sore. Maybe you're feeling nothing. But I want to remind you that if you are feeling nothing, I want you to maybe send some thoughts into your arms. Because the more you think about the muscles working, the more you send consciousness into those muscles, the more you connect to them, and the more you're able to work them. Okay, let's just go for another 3. I know this has gone on. Part of it is reps. That's how we build more strength without more resistance, is that fun little principle, time under tension, holding your arms in space for a long time. 2. Okay, on 1, sweep those arms back, hold them back here. Reach, reach, reach through your fingertips. Your palms are facing one another. I want you to squeeze to reach those fingertips longer, and then we'll take our little tricep kickbacks. Bend your elbow, thumbs kind of come to your shoulders, and then squeeze, reach that arm long. Bend and extend. And if you wanted to rest your hips on your heels, that's totally cool. But if you want to stay a little more active, keep those toes tucked. Just keep those hips hovering above your heels. Go for just another 6 and 5. Last 4. Ooh, trying to squeeze those arms a little higher with every extension back. Okay, we've got 2. This is our last one. Big squeeze, hold it, reach those fingertips, squeeze through your triceps, and then go ahead and relax. Nice. Okay, drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Oh, sorry about the yawns. Keep taking this little nod of your head to either side. Okay, and then we're gonna take it into a little bit more arm work. So from here, we'll take a little bit of energy into that upper back. I'm gonna turn to a little like 45 degrees with ya. And yeah, let's come to our standing kneel. Okay, so from here, we're gonna make our goalpost arm. So I'll turn to you so you can see it. Elbows are just about the height of my shoulder. They're straight out to the side, right? Okay, and then from here, I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades to draw those elbows back a little bit more. And then start to draw your forearms together in front of you. Pinkies come towards one another. And find that squeeze of your elbows to find that spread of your shoulder blades. And then expand out wide, squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then draw forearms together, elbows together. Keep going like this. Out wide, squeeze your shoulder blades together out front. Oh, expansion. Okay, I'm actually gonna come down because I am feeling a little tired, but you can stay up in that standing kneel. We're just finding this nice little bit of connection to our upper back here. Okay, and then for this next move, I am gonna turn to face you. So you keep going, finding that squeeze back, squeeze forward, and we'll go for 3. Last 2. And then on 1, the next time you send those elbows wide, let's hold them wide. Reach your elbows a little bit wider, almost like you're trying to slide your shoulder blades out a little bit. And then from here, just flip to point your fingers down to the ground. You're like a little scarecrow, and then flip palms up to the sky. Keep going, finding that little flip. And that flip looks, I say looks good a lot when there's people in the space, and so that's programmed into my brain, but I'm sure that you look good as well. I just can't see you. Keep those elbows spreading wide. Taking this little flip. Ooh, probably feeling a little bit of heat through those shoulders here. Let's go for another 3. Last 2. Yay. On 1. Come to bring those arms to that cactus. Send those elbows out a little wider, and then little lift, little lower. Little lift, little lower. Good. Keep going like this. Lift and lower. Oh, really getting in to that little glide of your scapula. So now you're kind of feeling them slide up and down your back. And notice that I'm not finding this scrunch of my shoulders up to my ears. So I want you to keep those shoulders drawn down, and you're just finding this little rotation of those arm bones through that shoulder socket. I'm tired. Are your arms tired? I hope so. Let's go for another 3. Last 2. Okay, last 1. All right, go ahead and give yourself a little roll out of your shoulders. And then we've got a little more arm work to do. We're gonna do some push-ups. And so we're gonna come to our modified plank. Starting in our modified plank, our hands are down on the mat, our knees are down on the mat, and I want you to really come into this strong modified plank so that your booty isn't pressing back in place. You tuck your tailbone a little bit to draw yourself forward, right? You've got this nice support of your hands. Okay, and then from here, you're gonna send your elbows out wide, drop your chest all the way down to the mat. Take just a beat here. And then you're gonna press into your hands, and you're gonna push yourself all the way up into that modified plank. And you're gonna keep going like that, seeing if you can slow down that drop down to the mat. Take a beat to collect yourself, maybe an inhale here. And then exhale, big energetic push up. Good, keep going like that. Dropping yourself down all the way. And then lifting yourself up all the way. Good, now if you want to add on here, as you come up into that modified plank, I want you to tuck your toes, come to a full plank. And then from here, you will drop yourself all the way down in that full plank. And then you'll come onto your knees, lift your feet up to the sky, and you'll push up to that modified plank. and then tuck your toes, full plank. Drop yourself down all the way. Oof, drop to your knees, lift up, full plank. I'm gonna keep going in my modified plank now. I don't know if I mentioned that I'm kind of tired today. And if you are too, then join me in this modified position. But if you're feeling energetic, you go ahead and keep pushing, taking that full plank to drop yourself all the way down, and then that modified plank to push yourself up. And of course, if you're feeling super strong and you want to push yourself up to that full plank, mat support. But for now, I'm just going to be here in modified. And the purpose here is building strength across this full range of motion. A lot of times we start to do push-ups and we're like here. And like that's cool because you're starting to build strength there. But we really want to start to build strength through that entire range of motion all the way down. And then pushing up out of it. For just another 3. This is a lot of push-ups. You're probably tired. I don't blame you. Okay, last 2. Okay, this is your last one. And then go ahead and drop yourself all the way down. Okay, I cheated. I didn't do it. I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to drop myself down. Okay. From here, let's walk our hands out a little bit wider from the mat and send our elbows up to the sky. You should already, I like to bring my my forehead to the mat here. And you should already feel a little stretch at the front of your pecs like this. Ooh. Okay. Now come up onto your like fingertip, not your fingertips, but like your spidey tips. And I am going to come just like 45 degrees here so you can see me. Actually, I'll come. I have carpet, so I'm going to come to face you. I think that might not be able to see me. Okay. Laying yourself down, you've got those elbows wide, fingertips on the ground. From here, use your fingertips to push yourself up. Come to lift. And then from here, try to squeegee your arms together, hands to the center line, and then look to the right. Drop yourself down a little bit. And then lift up. And then squeegee those arms together, look to the left, and drop yourself down. Good. Ooh, we're going to go like that a couple more times. We're flossing here, flossing out through those pecs. Okay, once more in either direction. Flossing does feel good, but it also feels really intense, and it feels really intense for me right now. Okay, and then go ahead and just bring your hands out in front of you, rest your forehead on your hands, maybe bring your heels up to the sky, knees are bent, and you just take this little rock from side to side. Okay, great. From here, let's press ourselves up, and we're gonna come to finish in a squatting series. Perfect. Perfect timing. Okay. So from here, we're coming to standing. I like to stand wide ways on the mat because we're going to do a little wide-legged squat. So walk your legs out, a little wider than your hips. So much dog hair. Okay. And then you've got to turn out here. So your toes are pointed out, your heels are pointed in, and I want you to take this little tuck of your tailbone so that you've got those sits bones like kind of underneath you. And then from here, you're going to bend your knees out wide to the side, sink your hips down a little bit, and then press up. Sending those knees out wide, you sink down, and then you lift up. Trying to stay upright through your spine here. So because we're taking this wide-legged squat, I want you to stay lifted through your chest rather than tipping your torso forward like you would through like a more standard squat, because you don't need your torso for balancing here, right? That's like a stable force, and we're not moving front to back, right? We're moving side to side. So your knees are balancing one another and your torso just stays kind of neutral. Yeah, I like my hands out in front of me here, but if you want a little more work, you can take them overhead as you squat down, right down as you stand up. If that helps you feel like a cool dancer, take it. If it feels good through your arms, after all of that work that we did in our arms, that's cool. Okay, and then from here, we're gonna start to add on some intensity. So the next time you take that squat down, you'll hold it. See if you can really sink down in your hips a little bit, hold it really steady. And then from here, lift your right heel up, drop it down, lift your left heel up, drop it down. Keep going like that. Right heel lifts, lowers, left heel lifts, and lowers, and you just keep going here. And I want you to focus on those hips staying really stable. So you're not rocking from side to side. You're finding this nice stability here, engagement through your outer glutes, and you're just activating your calves, your hamstrings to lift heels up. Now, if you're feeling super balanced, you could lift both heels up at the same time and down, and then two heels lift and lower. I always feel like a spider, kind of. What is that, like Louise Bourgeois sculpture? That's how I feel in this move, like that big, huge Spidey. Okay, we're just gonna go like this for another 3 and 2. Okay, and then on 1, let's hold it here. If you can hold both heels lifted, keep that. If it feels better to ground down into your heels, keep that. You choose. And we're just gonna pulse down and up. Now your adductors are working here too, so don't discount the work that your inner thighs are doing. Those outer glutes are really working that turnout. And we're gonna be here for another 4 and 3. And we're just gonna hold in 2. On 1, stay really low. If those heels wanna lift, maybe lift them a little higher. Okay, I'm gonna take my arms overhead. Hopefully I don't fall. Okay, I'm balanced, I'm sturdy. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels drop down, come to stand. Heel toe your feet a little bit closer to one another, and then just fold forward. Maybe shake your head out a little bit. Maybe you grip onto both elbows and you just kind of dip up and down a little bit. Maybe you bend one knee and then the other. Oh. Okay, I realized that I started class being like, I'm feeling lit. It's the beginning of Aries season. It's spring. But now I'm feeling kind of tired. And you know what? That's okay. And however you're feeling, I honor that too. Okay, we're just gonna come to seated now and take a few breaths to close this practice out. So just like how we started here, seated, cross-legged, if that's comfy for you, and taking this moment to settle into your seat. So we took those few wiggles at the beginning of class just to kind of get them out. And now we're taking it again, seeing if we can do almost like a diagnostics check on our body. Noticing how we feel after all of that intensity, how our body has changed over the past hour. Okay, and when you're ready, settle in here. Coming to seated, nice and tall through your spine. I like my hands on my knees here, but you can choose wherever is comfortable for you. And let's take a big cleansing breath in. And then a full clearing breath out. Another big full breath in. And then a big clearing breath out. This next breath in will hold, fill yourself up all the way to the tippy top. And when you think you can't pull in anymore, take another sip. And pause. See if you can use the suspension of this breath to build a little bit more energy inside of your body to reach your head a little bit taller. And then as you exhale, see if you can release any tension that's built up. Let's do that one more time. Big breath in, fill yourself up, 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 all the way to the tippy top. This time you'll take 2 sips at the top and you'll hold it. Again, seeing if you can use the fullness of this breath to grow a little bit larger in your body, a little bit longer in your body. And taking this feeling and just remembering that your body has the capacity to hold so much more space and energy. And as you exhale, release any tension, any pressure. Just remembering that simple thought that you have the capacity to hold more, to build more, and you get to choose when to utilize that. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for practicing. I look forward to hearing from you if you have any feedback. And yeah, I guess I'll see you next week. Thank you.